Hey guys, it's Keyword Stash, and today I have 12 Mehta Walkthrough Solves for you. I did an average of 12 and recorded all my solves and reconstructed what I did. So I'll be showing you the original solve footage as well as going over my solutions. If you don't know anything about the Mehta method, you can check the description now and look at the GitHub page. It has an overview of the steps as well as some example solves. I use the CDRLL and JTLE paths. So with that, here is the first solve. Alright, so that solve was a 12.52 plus 2, so a 14.52. Unfortunate plus 2. This first block that I did was not very good. I'll show you a better one after I show you this one, but I didn't have a lot of inspection time, so what I saw was this pair. There's also this pair, but being attached to this center, it doesn't make very good blocks. So this pair goes with this edge, so from this angle, I did that to add that, and then I also saw these corners, or this corner, and then this edge. So this corner will stay the same, and this edge will just move up to here. So I paired those up like this, and then finish the block like that. So a better solution would be the same square from this angle, but with the other pair. So the green-yellow edge and the red green-yellow corner, which pair up nicely like this. So that would have been a 6-move first block. What I did was 8 moves. And then this edge is kind of right in front of my face, so I put in that edge, put in this edge, and then this one, which also solved this one, so very nice. EOLE is just this easy 5-move case right there. Decal, so these two corners, like that. CDRLL is the top corners. This is diag soon, which is one of the few cases that's different from COLL. DL goes like this. And then we have L5EP. And that solve was 51 moves. So here's the next one. Okay, so that solve was a 12.59, and here's what I did. So I saw this pair first, and I made a blue block with it. So this edge goes with it, and then I also used this edge and this corner because I saw that this corner could pair up with only one move like that. So what I did first was D prime U2, kind of at the same time like that, to pair this up, and then also move this edge over. So I can connect that with the F prime, and then insert this into the back with URB prime. And there's the first block. And then for the belt, I did this edge first, and then this one, and then this one. And for EOLE, this is not a very good case. Edge is flipped, and we have like a line here. So I did E, and the alg is F wide R S prime RF prime, like that. And then this is a pretty good decal case though. So this corner and this corner right here. So basically just insert this corner and then insert that corner. Very nice alg. Simple U case here. And then we have, unfortunately, a 5 cycle. So that solve was 47 moves. And here's the next one. Alright, so that solve was a 15.41. Unfortunately, one of the worst solves of the average. And it was mostly because I had some trouble with the EOLE case, but I'll get to that. So I have this big block here. I looked at green a little bit, but it didn't look very good, so I did red. So we need this edge and this edge to go with this block. So I can just put that edge in right there, move the block out of the way to insert this edge, and then solve the first block like that. And then the first belt edge I did was this one, like that, and then this one, and then this one. And here's where I had a bit of trouble. I changed my alg for this case recently, but the new one is from this angle. Just insert the edge and S prime US. This decal case, a bit bad to recognize with this corner in the back, but that's the alg. And then here, instead of doing the CDRLL, I actually did JTLE, so I inserted the edge while orienting the corners, which leaves PLL. I think for this case, you're technically not supposed to do that because it gives you a diag PLL. But I just saw this and decided to do it instead of trying to recognize the corners. So the alg for that is this, and it gives me a Y perm. And I use that algorithm for a Y perm and U AUF. So this solve was not very efficient. This was 60 moves because of the PLL mostly is pretty long, and my belt wasn't very good because I kind of didn't know what I was doing with inspection. But anyway, here's the next solve. Alright, that solve was a 10.93, so pretty good. Here's the scramble. I have this pair. This edge is already solved, so I just need to do those two moves to pair those up. And then this edge also will be right here after those two moves, and this corner goes with it. So altogether it's only 4 moves. 1, 2, pair up the corner, 4. And I was able to see my first belt edge in inspection, which was this one. This one probably would have been better after the first 2 F moves. It's in the U layer and the orange center is already on the right. But this one's a bit easier to track. So I tracked this edge and put it in straight away. And during that, I saw this one, so then I put in this one. But unfortunately, the last two are pretty bad. This one's stuck in the D layer and this one's stuck in the wrong slot. So I had to move this over, put that one in like that, and go back to here. So that was a lot of moves, and the belt would have been better if I had done that orange-yellow edge first. But anyway, we have EOLE. This is a bad case, this edge, and this one's oriented. This is actually a really nice alg. It goes like this. For decal, we have the corner here and here. This is one of the shortest algorithms. Only 5 moves like that. And then we have all corners oriented. So I just inserted the edge to do PLL. And I did the ADF with aligning the edge like that and this J perm. So that was 47 moves and a very nice solve. Okay, that solve was an 11.18, so also very good. And the first block was actually very similar to the last solve. So we have this pair here, this edge already in place. I can connect those with just one move. And then I can put this edge here with this corner. So what I did was I paired these up with one move, then moved them over, solved this, so that I can connect that right there. And this time I also planned a belt edge and inspection. I saw this one. So the R prime moves it down, the U and L don't move it, and then the F prime puts it to here. So belt edge is here. I do a U wide 2, and I see this one. So I put in both with R, U, R. And then I also see this one. So just insert that one real quick, and a very fast 3/4 belt. This EOLE case is a lot of moves. Edges flipped, only one oriented. So from this angle, sledge, U prime sledge. Pretty fast to execute, but a lot of moves. Decal, we have this corner and this corner. This corner being twisted in place would make you think that it's a really terrible alg, but it's actually not. Just 9 moves like that. And then this is another CDRLL that's not just the same as COLL. And I actually did sort of JTLE at the same time. So the standard alg is from the back like this. But if you do the same thing from the front, it solves the edge in this position. So from here, I did it like this to force EPLL, and unfortunately I got a Z perm, which is not the EPLL you want, but oh well. This solve was 51 moves, and here's the next one. So that was a 1504, pretty bad, but I had some trouble with inspection. So I'll show you the first block I did as well as a better first block. So I saw this pair right here, and this edge that can go with it, and then this edge. And I didn't really find the corner, as you'll see. So I put in this edge, attached the pair like that, and then D2, and then I kind of just put in the edge and put in the corner, which was a lot of moves, and I didn't plan it all very well. So what I could have done instead is after this move, I can just do a U2 to pair these up, and then put this in and put that in, and it's a perfectly good first block that actually leads to a really nice belt as well. But unfortunately I didn't do that. I did that other first block. So anyway, the belt turned out to be pretty okay. So I did this one, and then I did this edge, and what I should have done was this edge at the same time, but I didn't see that, so I kind of moved over here, moved back, and then did this one. And then for EOLE, this is one of the cases that was recently changed, so very finger tricky alg right there. And then decal, again, this corner in place flipped or twisted, but a good algorithm still. And then that solved this edge, which would be cool if I knew this ZBLL, but I do not. So I did COL from the back like this, and align the D layer here, and I used this U-firm. So that solve was the worst move count at 62 moves, but like I said, it could have been perfectly fine if I had done a better first block. Alright, so that solve was a 12.59, and here's my solution. So this solve didn't have any pairs, so I actually went a different route. I did a 3/4 cross into two F2L pairs, and then one edge, and then EOLE, which is another way you can get to the EO ledge state with Mehta. So I have these two edges already next to each other correctly, and then I was going to do this edge to put it here, and the two edges, the two F2L edges are this one and this one, so I want to try to make sure these are oriented so that my pairs work out nicely. So when I insert this edge here, that'll be the cross, but that misorients this edge. So I actually did an F here to reorient that edge. And then this pair, I found this pair in inspection, so this corner and this edge. So I went straight into that pair, and then this pair, like that. And then this edge goes here, so I just put that in, which solved this edge. So another instance of that same EOLE case. Decal, we have this corner and this corner, so this is a cool one. Like that. And then I did JTLE again here. This case goes like this. And I got an A perm. So that solve was 50 moves, which is very good for the 3/4 cross. Normally the 3/4 cross is more moves, but a little bit more ergonomic. Okay, so that one was a 12.38. Here's my solution. We have this pair here. This edge goes with it, and then I also did this edge and this corner. So I wanted to pair up these like this, but that moves this pair out from where it was and makes it really hard to finish. So what I did was, from this angle, I did a U prime, inserted this edge onto the bottom just like that, and then I paired these up, put them in there, and then F to do this one. And I saw that this would be solved in inspection. So then I had this orange one and this orange one. Put them both in at the same time. Very nice. This is not a very good EOLE case, but oh well. And then we have decal, both corners are in the front, so pretty good recognition. And then we have just pure anti-soon. And then this L5VP, normally what you look for to recognize it is this opposite edge here. But from this angle, you can see that there are no matching colors. We have red, green, orange, blue, none of the same colors. So that means that I know that this one is opposite. So didn't have to AUF and then recognize again. I could recognize it from that angle. And that solve was 52 moves. So here's the next one. Alright, so that was a 12.27, and this solution was very unique. So I was looking at doing a 3/4 cross because there are no pairs. I have these two edges adjacent, and then I can maybe do this one, but this one doesn't look very good. This edge is also solved, so then I was thinking I could keyhole this edge, or this corner, sorry, to make a pair with these to make kind of a 2x2 block. And then I saw the other pair was this and this. So then I decided to kind of just go all in and basically do a Petrus solve. So I inserted this corner, put this back here, and then, or no, before moving that, I paired this up. And then I moved that, inserted this pair, inserted the edge. So I made a 2-2-3, which is something you can do if you have a good scramble. At the top level, when people are really good at Mehta, they'll probably do this more often because it's more efficient than doing first block into 3/4 belt. But this just happened to be a scramble where I could plan it pretty easily. Unfortunately, the move count of this solve still sucks because I got a really bad case here, with these edges both misoriented next to each other. There's actually, you can learn a few algs to do EOLE with them both flipped like this, but I haven't learned those algs yet. If I did, this would have been a much better move count, but instead I did R, S, R, S prime to orient them, then R2, U2 prime R, and then I still have to orient the edges, so I ended up wasting a lot of moves there and killing all the efficiency from the 2x2x3. However, I got a really cool decal case to make up for it. So the alg is R, S prime, U2, S, R, and the way I finger trick it, the fastest way to finger trick it is pretty much doing all the moves while pinching these two edges. So R, S prime, U2, S, R. I'm not warmed up right now, so I can't execute it very well right here. But as you saw in the solve, it's actually really fast to execute. And it looks super cool. So from here, I just did CDRLL with that alg and another Z perm. Very unfortunate. So 51 moves was the final count. But it would have been much lower if I had gotten a better case for the belt and not gotten a Z perm, or if I had just learned the fancy trick subset to finish EOLE with 2 flipped edges. Anyway, on to the next solve. All right, so 10.64, that was the best solve of the average. Not to spoil the next 2 solves, but that was that was the best solve of the average. The scramble is pretty terrible, actually. What I ended up doing was a 3/4 cross with on white with green, red, and blue. So I have green and blue as opposite, and the red one goes back here. And then we have this F2L edge, which is oriented, and this F2L edge, which is misoriented. So what I did was a U to move this into the B layer, so that when I did R2, B prime, R prime, it would orient this edge. And then D to finish that. And then I did this pair. This pair was right in front, so pretty easy to spot. And then we have these 2 edges. And what I did was U prime, R prime, U, R prime to solve both of them, which gives me this dot case, which is unfortunate. If I had been a bit more aware, what I could have done was U, R prime, U prime, R prime instead, which keeps this oriented edge in the top instead of moving it into the bottom like I did. But I didn't think of that. So I did this, and then R2, U2, R2, S prime US. I got the same decal case, which is cool. And in fact, the same CDRLL as well. Or no, never mind. This is the, not the same one. So that's the CDRLL, and then this L5AP case. So that was 52 moves, not a particularly incredible solution, but I just had really good look ahead, and I got a 10. All right, here's the next solve. All right, so that solve was an 11.38. So what I was looking at first was this pair, trying to make a white block because I also have this 1 move pair, which goes with it. So then I just need the orange edge. But I couldn't really find a good way to, oh, sorry, it was here. I couldn't really find a good way to put this all together. So I ended up completely discarding that and doing a yellow 3/4 cross. Because we have this edge solved, these 2, just a U move to each be 1 away. And that same U move actually creates this pair. So what I did was U, B2 to put this one in, and then RL, U2L to make an extended 3/4 cross, I guess. And then we have this pair right here, like that. Bad case here, both edges flipped, but since they weren't opposite from each other, I can't do the SR/S prime trigger. So instead I put in the back one with R2 prime, F wide, R prime, F wide prime. So this is a good trigger, especially for 3/4 cross solves where you're not doing any U-wide moves. This is a good trigger to use to solve this back edge. EOLE, like that. Decal, they're both in the U layer. That's the alg. CDRLL, pretty easy to recognize H case. And L5EP, since I see opposite here and adjacent here, I know this one also has to be opposite. And that's the alg. So that solve was 56 moves, and here is the last one. Alright, so unfortunately, not exactly saving the best for last. This was the worst solve of the average. But the solution was pretty good. It was mostly slow just because of my recognition. So we have another large block, like a different solve. And then we have the white, green, and yellow, green edges. Unfortunately, we can't just make a 2-move block like that. This one needs to go on the other side. So I did F and then R prime U2 L2 to put it on this side. That solved this belt edge. So the next one I saw was this one, and I put that one in there, and then I saw this one, so I inserted that one, move this back. This is bad. And then I spent a lot of time recognizing this case before executing it like that. And then we have decal, actually the same case as the last solve. That's the algorithm. And then an anti-soon CDRLL, which is also hard to recognize. Like all 3 algorithm steps so far have been pretty hard to recognize. And then the same L5EP from the same angle, and D prime to finish. So 50 moves is one of the best move counts, but my recognition was just bad. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed, and I hope you learned something about Mehta. Maybe this has inspired you to learn the method. I'll put some links in the description, the overview of the method, and the Discord where you can join and talk to people about the method. So that's all I have. Have a good rest of your day, and I'll see you guys next time.